Durante with a free header.
And the honour of Western United's first A-League goal goes to a familiar face. Bessart Barisha. It's Connor Payne on the left. Alessandro Diamante with the ball on a string. And
Diamante! And the Western service crew are celebrating.
And welcome back to All Out West. And what a banger of a week in the A-League, with the Bulls laying waste to Adelaide, Glory getting a decisive win over the Raw, Victory breaking the FFA Cup curse, and West United taking the top spot back off the Eastside rivals, Melbourne City. This week you were joined by Scott and Kelsey. And Kelsey, what was your highlight from this week of football?
Can only be one thing, surely. It's got to be the scorpion kick.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think that's everyone's highlight, that one.
Yeah.
I did hear Channel 10 played it. Over 1 million views over the internet, social media. So obviously it's going worldwide, so it's massive. That's
great promotion for the league and our club. So that's amazing. It was pretty good. I liked some of the Scorpion King kind of memes, which was pretty solid. I rated over Riley McGree's. Yeah. Do you guys want to get into the club update?
Yep, let's do it.
Sweet, bang through. Now, on the 9th of Feb, I missed this one on our last podcast, but on the 9th of Feb, West United confirmed and terminated the contract of Ion Majok, who was with the club. They agreed to mutually terminate. Ion made one A-League men's appearance last season in round 1. And it was against Adelaide United. He also featured prominently in MPL 3 side in 2021, scoring 4 goals. What do you guys think about that? Anyone going to miss Ion as much as me? Or
no, I didn't see too much of him, to be honest. I barely knew he was on the squad. So to me,
he was he was my young player I was really pushing last season, and it didn't eventuate.
I believe you did the review for him too.
Yeah. I was a bit gutted by that. So I've heard I think he's trialing at CCM or something. So fingers crossed he winds up at another A-League club or MPL and continues his football career, because he did play some exciting football.
I like that the club willingly lets. Sorry, I'll just say, I think I would like that the club willingly lets players go and try and flourish elsewhere if they're not going to be used or utilised in a meaningful way at the club.
I think CCM might be the best move for him. They tend to give a lot of the young players a chance at getting into the side, and they've done it a few times before. So hopefully he gets to CCM and they give him a chance.
Yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed. Our next bit of news. So on Tuesday, the 22nd of the 2nd, it was announced that Lachie Wales will remain in the West until at least the end of the 23-24 season. So he's got a 2-year contract extension. He's kind of, in my opinion, a bit of a quieter season than last. But on that same note, he's had 4 assists. Scott, what are your thoughts of Lachie Wales?
He's still my boy, so I'm glad he's staying, and he'll come good soon.
Yeah. Kelsey?
Look, I'll never forget he won me $140 at the Olympics. Thank you again. The other thing too is he's a great signing. He's a good player. He's a good young player. He still has a very good, the ceiling's high on him. I'm pumped. He's re-signed. And I want to know, did he sign at 2:22 p.m.?
I don't.
Or was it announced at 2:22?
It should have been. It would have been a bit of a loss if it did. If it didn't, you know what I mean? But yeah, good. He's been a great player for us. I think he's been a little bit because
last year he was the shining light
between him and Parias in our forward line.
We didn't have much attacking presence last year, so it wouldn't have been hard for him.
No, but he still stepped up at his age. He still did it
this season. He's going to find it a lot tougher because there's a lot more competition now. There, all the spotlight is going to be on a few of the other Previc and a few of the other players. It's harder for him to break into that side as well.
From all reports, Alois is very happy with the role Wales is playing. For him, it's not about so much the goals and assists Wales provides. It's the positioning things and the ability to bring other players into the game that Alois is liking from Wales at the moment. Anyway,
yeah. we'll keep it moving, but I think it's a good decision. Long story thought. I think we're in agreement there. Here's another re-signing. This is from last week. It was announced on the 18th of Feb that 30-year-old Stephen Lustica has signed a 1-year contract extension. And he's had a pretty solid, he's probably his best year with us in the last probably 6 games. What do you think about that, Scott?
What was that? Sorry?
Stephen Lustica has signed a 1-year contract extension.
Yeah, it's good to have Lustica staying around. He's really stepped his game up this year. So, yeah, he's just another positive thing to this team. And look what he's doing within the club. He's kicking a few goals and really keeping his spot.
Definitely. Kelsey, anything to elaborate on?
Look, I'll just talk quickly. It's thoroughly well-deserved and earned this extra year contract. He's been one of the best players at the club this season. He's been excellent.
Sick. I agree. He's great player coming for Kone in season 1 and season 2 did pretty well. And this season we didn't think he'd be in the starting 11 and he's banging it in. So big fan. Now let's move on to injuries. And we've got a couple of good conversation points here. So Diamante left the pitch early on the game on Sunday due to an issue with his foot, I believe. And Payne was rested on that game due to a foot injury. We don't have much more information on that at the moment, but just a few things there. I think we proved that we can play without Diamante and Payne, but I don't know if it's a long-term deal. Do you guys have any comments on that?
Well, with Payne, like I think I said last podcast, he needed a rest. You could just see in him he was exhausted. He needed some time off, it was good. He wasn't even on the bench, so he didn't even come on. So he's got a full time to recover. So yeah, it's good to have a rest. Diamante's starting he's old, so he's going to be taking a bit longer to fully recover. He's not getting as much game time. He'll probably be rested again tomorrow night, which will probably be good for him, and hopefully be back on the weekend.
Yeah. Kelsey, anything on that?
I dare say, Diamante, I have a feeling was probably being rested from this second game anyway, because he doesn't tend to play both games when there's a midweek game. He tends to have one of them at least off. He never tends to play with only a 4-day break. So dare say he was having off. And as Scott said last week, Payne probably did need a rest. Probably was a week too late, given that he's had a slight foot injury. Hopefully it's not too bad. But probably good that he's finally getting that rest he needed.
Yeah.
Hopefully he comes back out and fires up back to his better performance and right at the time we need him, just to sort of keep that lead at the front.
I think we have a lot of squad depth in that position. So I think because we have Thea Harris, in this case we had Parias starting. We have a lot of options for that role. Dylan Wenzel-Halls could play that, or as we did during the West City Wanderers games, we actually had Prijovic moving to the right and having Dylan Wenzel-Halls in a central position. So we have a lot of options with the squad we have. But we should probably save a little bit of that conversation for the game review. Now, on Sunday, the 20th of 2nd, Western United took on the reinvigorated Western Sydney Wanderers at Amy Park at 6:45 in front of 3,200 people, which is a tough fixture for attendance. But if you put that in contrast to the Macarthur Bulls Saturday night fixture, which had 2,702 people, or Melbourne City's Friday night game, which had 4,294, I think it did pretty well, to be honest. What do you guys think?
How much was the attendance, did you say?
3-2 for us.
That's not too bad. We're slowly stepping up in the attendance-wise. It's not much, but clearly we're not a massive club. Whether we will be down the track, who knows? But look, we hold a consistent crowd. It's always between the same areas. It's not like your city games where the derby they pull up 5,000 fans, and then the following game they pull up 1,000. We're very consistent. We've got a consistent fan base. And eventually we'll get more and more consistent people slowly coming on to board when we move to Tarneet. But yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a great crowd. Like when you consider it's in a dead Sunday night slot, and like you said, you compare it to a primetime Saturday night slot, which we beat in terms of attendance, and then you compare it to a primetime Friday night slot, which we're only about 1,000 behind.
Yeah, 1,094. So just under
Yeah,
1,100.
so I'll take that as it comes on a dead Sunday night, game. You know what I mean? It's an absolute dead time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did look quite dead at the stadium when you looked at all the stands. But, looking in the active looked quite, to me, it was probably one of the better turnouts in active. It was quite large compared to what we've seen before. So it was good to see that. But yeah, the stadium, unfortunately, it does look dead around everywhere else you look. Besides the corporate side, the main side, that's always relatively full. But yeah, as I said, we won't get crowds until we move.
Yeah, it's all part of the game. We all knew what we were signing on for when we became fans and part of the club, involved in this. But I think it's a good thing when you contrast it with the rest of the league, and we've got consistent people turning up. Now, this game had a lot to talk about, but from the onset of the whistle, there was a lot of back and forth with Western New Wanderers dominating possession, 66 to 33%. But sometimes it's what you do with the ball when you have it, and it's needless possession in your own half that doesn't typically lead to goals. Although Western Sydney Wanderers had 15 shots on goal, only 7 were on target, in contrast to Western United's 10 with 7, 10 with 7 on target, which we converted into 3 goals. Any thoughts on that, guys?
It's good to see more than 1 goal scored.
No, look, I think it was good to see some efficiency. And again, I think you summed it up pretty well. You can have all the possession in the world, but it's what you do with it. There's no point having 66% possession if you're not trying to drive the ball forward, if you're not trying to probe and try and find attacks. Having it in your own defensive half does nothing. So, and again, it was good to see that even though we had a lack of ball, we were willing to make those chances or time on the ball count by trying to drive forward, trying to, ask a question, try and get a goal.
Yeah, well, I only saw roughly the first 60 minutes, then I had to leave because I'd work. So, but from that, we put on dangerous attacks. It wasn't just, ones that were going nowhere. We did push quite a fair bit. I thought it was more 50-50. I didn't see the last 30 minutes. So, but I thought we did quite well when we had the possession of the ball.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Possession, passing the ball around to yourself in your own half, although you may have a better stat, doesn't translate to winning. And this is a case of, I think, Rudan's play style, which we experienced firsthand, was sometimes just trying to get as much of the ball and choke the other opponent and push into their half, which isn't always successful. And in this case, it wasn't. Now we'll move on to the first goal. Now, Prijovic opened scoring the 27th minute in what was smoother than butter. I lobbed the ball to the defensive line with Prijovic. He just easily managed to bypass it and pop the ball over Magush's head. This is amazing. Kelsey, you and I just watched it again a couple minutes ago before Scott come on the stream. Kelsey, what were your thoughts on this goal?
Okay, perfect timing. To Amai for when he sent the ball over to Prijovic. And then Prijovic for both staying onside and knowing exactly where the line was, and then just to finish the cool lob straight over the keeper. It was just perfect. That is what you want from a forward. Ability to move, ability to know when to move, ability, get control of the ball with one touch, and then to just finish calmly. It was perfection.
Yeah, well, being A-League standards, generally, something like that happens, they'll kick the ball over the net. But it was good to see a very, great finish. Couldn't have done it any better. He was onside for once, which is really good to see because Prijovic tends to like to be offside quite a fair bit. So it was good to see he was onside and perfect finish to a goal.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying about the offsides, and I think it's that fine line that a forward always tries to push is how far they can do it to catch the guys off guard. And I think he's finally found his position. And in the interview posted, he was talking about how it was it's a very physical league, and you have to be physically fit to get into this league. And he's to quote him, and it's not verbatim, but any top player in the world could come here, and if they weren't physically fit, they would not be capable of keeping up with the physicality of the league. So I just thought that was a really interesting insight from someone who's just come here, getting used to the league and what's required. Now, in the
they do say it is a tough league, Australia.
Yeah.
It is throughout the summer.
It's similar, also similar, like they said, similar to Scotland, where things that in any other league it'd be considered a foul. A lot in Australia is just considered, carry on.
Unless we're playing and it's against us. But I digress. In the dying minutes of the first half, Prijovic found Garuccio running inside the box for his first goal in 4 years. But alas, it would not be the last of the evening. Were you guys excited when we got our second goal in the first half? This is the second time this has happened this season because we're inherently a low-scoring team. Scott?
Personally, I wasn't excited because, what do you know? The little one needed to go to the toilet. I missed it. I missed the second one. I took the family. Leah needed to go to the toilet. Thought it wasn't far from halftime. I'm like, all right, we'll quickly go now. So we went down, and I heard the crowd going nuts, and then I heard them go off. So I was a bit annoyed, but it was good to see that we kicked a second goal. We got 2-0 up rather than conceding straight away. It's good to see get 2 in a row.
I've got a fun story about the third goal as well. But Kelsey, what are your thoughts?
Look, I can speak a little bit more as a goal. So Prijovic obviously puts through a great through ball through to Garuccio, who's just, I don't know who was meant to be marking him, but no one seemed to be on him at all. He had an acre of space inside the box, and then he's just slotted it beautifully at the near post, between the near post and the keeper. It was, again, another great finish. I mean, for a guy who hasn't scored a goal in 4 years, that was a cool finish.
Yeah, it was solid. Chef's kiss. Now we'll keep it moving. Now West Sydney Wanderers made a few changes and were bolstered with the subs of Najarine and Ziggy Gordon, whose impact was felt quite early with Hamed's 51st minute goal. Now, what were your feelings on the first goal, Scott? Which you may be familiar with, the handball.
Absolute joke.
Yep.
Where was our penalty last? Against Sydney. That was worse than this one. And yet, I don't know what. I don't think we're paying the refs at all. Maybe all the other clubs are throwing them, $100 a week. We're obviously doing nothing because it's they seem to hate us. We seem to have some type of penalty issue. It's becoming on quite regular now. That was a joke of a penalty, and I still wouldn't even call it a goal. It's not deserved. It's a fluke.
Yeah, I don't have much else to say about it. Kelsey, anything you want to add?
Sorry, I said last week it would only take a week or so until we saw a more, something that's less of a obvious handball that'll be called handball. I said it'd only take 1 week, and here we are. His elbow's by his side. He's doing everything he can to keep his arm to his body. He's doing everything he can to try and turn his arm away from the ball. But yet, flappy to, last week, as Scott accurately put it, that's apparently not deliberate. Putting your arms, up, down, up, getting hit. That's apparently, nothing he could do there. But, from point blank range into the elbow, no, that's a clear handball.
Yeah, it was pretty weak.
I think we all just want to see consistency in the rule.
Yeah. I think they had a meeting the following Monday and said, hey, we need to do better on handballs. And we just happen to be the culprits of that. or the victims in this case. Anything else on that, Scott?
Maybe not tomorrow night, but maybe next week we might hold up a banner saying we've got an envelope for the refs. Come over and grab it. We don't have to
I just
pay
think
them.
we should.
There's only
we
one
should get
way.
like
It's only one way to just even the table. We don't want to pay them to win us the game. We want to pay them to make the game fair.
I think we should
That's
say.
why
like
we're not paying them. We're not paying
I think you
them,
should have
so-
one.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a better one. Hands off our pens. So dude with hands up, hands off our pens. Bam. Just a bit of fun. But yeah, we'll keep it moving because it was obviously BS because it didn't affect the overall outcome like the previous week. Now, this change did little to dampen the team spirits as Garuccio netted possibly goal of the year in the A-League with an amazing scorpion kick.
It
Just to
may
correct
also
you there.
be just a.
Sorry, just to
You
correct
take it, Scott.
It's not goal of the year in the A-League. It could be goal of the year around the world.
And
You
that's
don't
where I
see
was going
many
with the
of
two.
them. You don't see many of those type of goals around the world. So I'd go
It's amazing.
potential goal of the year.
It could be winning a
the whole
Puskas
world.
potentially. Then again, it'll probably just be a Salah tap in or something that gets it.
Oh, it'd be a Messi or Ronaldo. It'd be Messi's penalty shot or something.
Well, when
Messi's
McGree scored
Ronaldo.
his, it was like just a simple Salah finish that won it. So I'm assuming Salah will just get it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dodgy trophies around the world these days. Ballon d'Or.
On that note of Ben Garuccio, if you aren't familiar with the player, we did a really good interview with him earlier in the year. Check it out. It's on our YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure, and it's also on our RSS feed. So it's on Spotify, iTunes. Very good, very nice person. Had a great conversation with him, so make sure you check that out. He's also did one on, I think, the RSN network as well. Check it out. It's good to see a person. Yeah, go. Yeah, Kelsey.
Oh, sorry, just a quick spoiler for our interview with Garuccio. Check out his cafe when he eventually opens one. Really loves the coffee.
Do you think it'll be a double shot espresso?
I'd say he earned it after that.
Yep. Do we lose Scott?
Can you hear me?
We can't
Yes.
see you.
Yeah. Sorry. Something's going on. I was trying to send Lauren the wife a message. So
Are you inside
if
now,
you-
Scott?
no, I'm outside.
Cool.
Oh,
Carry
no,
on,
If you
Scott.
get out of it, it'll drop off the screen
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah,
We do have crickets in your channel, Scott, which is quite fun.
Yeah, that's because I'm outside.
I know.
I try and avoid the dog barking and the kids screaming.
It's all good. I knew it was a trade-off. So let's move on to the next bit. Ugarkovic proved he had some goals left for scoring. He got the Wanderers second to keep them in the race. Was this due to absent-minded defending, or was Young at fault here? Kelsey.
Look, so I had a watch back of it actually just before the pod. To me, it was similar to like our first two goals conceded for the year, even though they were set pieces versus this being open play, and that it just seemed like there was a momentary switch off from the defense. Everyone was sort of ball watching rather than trying to engage the attacker and trying to stop him. I believe Leo actually turns away from the ball.
Yeah, he did a turnaround.
And he left Young exposed, who had already started putting his weight onto his left to try and stop it going around. And they just left him exposed, in my opinion, on that one a little bit. It was just a bit too much of ball watching for my life on that goal.
Kilkenny ran in as well, but he was nowhere near it. Imai was watching his player. It was a defensive error, in my opinion. Thoughts, Scott? What are your thoughts?
Look, I was nice to him last week. Ryan Scott would have saved that. But no,
Okay,
I honestly didn't see it. I was driving home as I had to go to work, so I missed it.
Did you want to see it, Scott?
Look, I'll look at it later on.
Okay, cool. Just send me your notes in our group chat so I know how you feel about it, Scott. I'd be worried if I didn't receive some kind of Jamie Young hate from you weekly. I'd just be concerned.
No, well, yeah, like I said, Ryan Scott would have saved it. Don't even know if it was savable or not, but yeah, my boy would have got it.
Just for Scott's context, to me, it looked like a lot of players sort of screened the ball. So Young, who'd already moved to his left, wouldn't have seen it till very late to be able to go back to his right. When his weight's on his left, no matter the keeper, if your weight was already on your left, you probably weren't getting back to your right to stop it.
I did see it was like was it 89th minute or 92nd minute team goal?
Yeah.
Like at that stage, players generally mindset that the game's over. They give up. It happens everywhere. That's how late goals tend to happen these days. Just one of those moments. Look, it was still 3-1. So
yeah, 3-2 in the end, but
no, 3-1.
He's not counting the penalty.
Oh, you're not counting the penalty?
No, that wasn't a penalty. So yeah, it was
apologies,
3-1.
Scott.
So.
I enjoy your sass.
Can't count dodgies. If not, we won last week.
We won last season. What are you talking about? Nah, jokes. Now, just a bit of background on Jamie Young. He made 4 big saves from inside the box and 1 from outside. So I think he had a decent game. As you said, Scott, one of them was a dodgy pen. The other one, it happens. Like, we had a pretty solid game otherwise. Do you guys have any final thoughts about the game, Scott?
Look, for some reason, I actually thought Young was going to save that penalty. I just had a mindset that he was going to go the right way. He was going to stop the dodgy shit from the refs. Unfortunately, didn't. I was a bit heartbroken when it didn't. But yeah.
Sorry, what, Scott? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it was a good game. Good game, 3-1. I think one of you guys. I think it was you, Andrew, that tipped 3-1. Or Kelsey?
I think I did do 3-1, but
I think you did. So
yeah, I think I said 2-0.
Spot on, Andrew.
Thank you.
If you take away the dodgy penalty, I had the right margin. If you take away the dodgy penalty of 2-0,
sure you did, mate. Sure you did. Now, Kels, any final thoughts?
Look, it was nice to see us score more than 1 goal in the game. It'd be nice if we could, when we win, to win by more than 1 goal. That I think is the next challenge, to win by more than 1 goal in a game.
100%. Now, we're going to move on to tomorrow. 100%, Scott. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get on to the player of the year. Now, a number of the panel aren't here, and a lot of us tipped very similarly today. So, myself... Kelsey, do you want to read them out because they're all 3 of us got the same?
No worries. So myself, you, and Jay all went.
Actually, it is Jay.
It is Jay.
Yeah, you're right.
We all gave the 3 to Garuscio. I mean, he scored 2 and 1 was a scorpion kick. I mean, it was a bag. Prio in any other game probably would have had 3 votes, but just because of Garuscio's performance with his goal, and was it 2 assists, I believe?
For Prio, 2.
Yep. So he got himself the 2 votes, and then we all gave Young the 1 vote for his performance. Lev gave the 3 to Garuscio and the 2 to Prijovic, and then the 1 to Amai.
Yep.
And then I believe Scott, I could be wrong and you can correct me, it's not listed here, but I believe you were Garuscio, Prijovic, and Leo.
Yeah, I thought Leo was quite solid in the defence. His efficiency was very accurate, and I think he won quite a few duels as well. So yeah, it was hard. It was hard to vote that last one because I was occupied during the game, and then I missed the last 30 minutes. But I must admit, I almost gave the 3 to Prijovic, even though Garuscio scored the 2 goals. It's just that one great goal because Prijovic was involved in all three goals, and he was solid around the ground. So I almost gave 3 to him, but yeah, I thought Garuscio never gets it, so we'll give him a chance.
Scott, did you hear what Previch said post in the post interview?
Did he thank me?
No. Garuccio,
no.
Previch said, Benny owes me 2 assists now.
Nice.
I really enjoyed his interviews post game, to be honest. Yeah, it was quite really good interviews. Kelsey, did you see that at all?
No, I actually missed the interview. I did hear the Garuccio interview where he just said like he'd face planted in training when practicing it beforehand, and then he just thought, well, it's already passed me behind me. I'm gonna have to try and do it. And he just said I hit it flush, and then next thing I knew, I got up and it was in the net.
Yeah, no, I was a big fan of the post interviews. Scott's up to mischief.
I'll be back in 2 seconds. The guy across the road's whippersnipping. If you can't hear the buzzing noise.
Not at all.
Hear the buzzing noise?
Carry on.
Okay, don't worry. Scratch that.
The grasshoppers are stopped, so that's nice.
Okay, I just thought
I
can hear the whippersnippers. I thought maybe might move, but if you guys can't hear it, we're good.
No, well, we'll go through the player of the year votes. Who's winning? Coming 5th is Connor Payne on 33 votes. Alexander Prijovic is coming 4th on 33. Leo Lacroix coming 3rd on 42. Steve Lusticker's coming. Actually, I can hear it now, Scott. It is coming 2nd on 44. And Josh Risden's coming 1st on 57. Jamie Young is 6th. Topper Stanley's coming 7th. 8th, Neil Kenny. 9th, Ben Garuccio. He's had a big week. And Lockie Wales 10th.
I can't really argue with how we're positioning them at the moment.
It is a very performance-based test, I think, there.
And honestly, I think any of the top 5 could really be leading at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Risden's having a great season. The Sticker's having a great season. Yeah, it's going really well.
Yeah. I'm really impressed by our signings and the fact we've maintained a top 6 position most of the season thus far. It's been pretty good. Oh, Scott, you look comfy there.
Yeah, I had to move. I thought it might have interrupted us. He's decided to whippersnipper the rest of his grass.
That's okay. Scott, is that a casting couch?
What?
It's a bit of a rude joke there. I apologize, sir.
Andrew Tran joke.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we're going to talk about something else in a second. Just let me get the... Now, if you're as passionate about Western United as we are, you won't want to miss any of this season's A-League action. And the easiest, quickest, and best way to catch every game from every angle is with the A-League Live app. Search for A-League Live on Sportsmate or in the app or Google Play stores. Link in the description of this podcast, in the audio. Check it out. Highly recommend it. We use it for everything. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to talk about from the game, guys? Anything else, or just leave it there?
Happy to move on. We're still top.
With the game in hand too.
Yeah, which is very important.
Should be 4 points. Actually, we should already be 4 points.
Games in hand don't equal points in the bank. I'll just take it one at a time.
Yeah, we're still there. True. Especially with Perth Glory being so behind. That for me is they're a big wild card.
If they might win all their games, I think they can move 3rd. Maybe
we might have a reconvene next week and have a bit of a State of the Union on the table. Kelsey, that might be a you thing because I know you love that shit.
Done.
You did not seem happy about that.
No, I'm just extremely tired, as you know. I know it's been a long one.
I'm just messing with you. Would you guys want to get into the game preview? Now, on Wednesday, 23rd of the 2nd, the day this will come out, Western United take on Sydney FC at Amy Park at 5:25 p.m. The time slot is so early. Diamante sent a letter to all the school principals in the West to let kids go early so they go see the game. I don't know if he actually physically sent it, but it was a good social media post. I think the way the club's trying to creatively engage with people online is really good. I think they've really improved since they were founded. just a bit of my observation. You guys have any comments on that?
No, look, they're trying, and that's all you can ask. Like they're trying to connect in a fun and meaningful way, and really, like I reckon that's kind of a nice way to do it. Write to all the principals, hey, let them out of school so we can enjoy a game of football.
Look,
Yeah,
it's not going to change.
It's what the Italians would do.
It's not going to change much, but imagine if the principals made that message out. It might actually get people slightly more interested. They probably wouldn't go still, but that have more knowledge of the club.
Yeah. I think it's good, and there's a lot of free ticket promos going out with the We Are Woo FC code at Ticketek from memory. I don't know. We're all members, so we don't need that stuff, but it's there if anyone would like to have a go at going to a first game. Now, a little bit more about this game. The informed top of the table Western United take on the fourth place Sydney, who've kind of been a bit of a mixed bag in the past, but have found their feet in recent weeks. In Eloise's post-match interview, he stated that the team will likely be similar to Sunday's game, and due to the fact that a lot of the players are a lot more fit, they'll likely still be in the lineup with a few exceptions. Kelsey, who do you think is going to be missing this week?
Well, obviously, you take out Diamante, you probably leave Payne out again still, and then you just tweak around the edges there as you need to see fit.
Yeah. I think Prijovic doesn't start. That's for me. That's
probably what happens.
Yeah, I'd say we might go with a different lineup again. Not sure if we'll see Payne maybe come off the bench. Wouldn't surprise me if we might start with the same lineup, just with Wenzel Halls instead of Prijovic. Bit of Pieris, Wales, and Wenzel Halls. I wouldn't mind seeing Theo get a start. I think Milo Milanovic will get a start. And it wouldn't surprise me if Leo might get a rest. Oh, no, probably not. He won't get a rest. No, Leo would start, and it wouldn't surprise me if maybe Imai gets another start as well, because we did play Imai against Sydney last for his pace.
Kelsey, you going to say something?
Yeah, I have a question for you both, just sort of without notice. Where do you reckon the refs will line up for Sydney in this game?
In the pocket?
Well, if they accept my envelope, hopefully even. But if they don't accept my envelope, we've obviously screwed up too bad somewhere, and Sydney penalty. Sydney will get a penalty at some stage. You watch. It'll probably be because Imai might pick his nose, or Leo might stomp his foot too hard in the grass. But yeah, penalty for Sydney.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one. Now, this is a bit of a flip on that. What would you like to see from the squad on Wednesday?
Sort of what I saw last game against Sydney. Very attacking side, play the ball out from defence, trying to push forward, trying to break Sydney. Try not to let, Burjo and Campsova get through the defence too much, because they do. That's what they tend to do against us our last game. So hopefully try and cut them off a lot earlier instead of letting them get through.
What I'd like to see is really not a whole lot different. I would like to see us doing what we're doing on the ball. I think we've made good strides in the last couple of games when we're on the ball. And really just for this game, because it is Sydney, I'd like us to put in a concentrated 90-minute shift, because there have been those one or two little moments where the defenders ball watch or switch off. I'd just like to see a full solid 90 of concentration from the defence.
Be a bit tough because there will be changes. There'll be players getting rested, so it'd be a bit of a shit show, I'd say, because it is a midweek match. But yeah, I'd like to see a solid defence, and I want to see a full-blown attack. I want to see them under the pump for at least 75 minutes. hopefully get a couple of goals in that. I'd like a 90-minute performance, but that's a bit big of expectation.
That's okay. That's why I want to ask it, because something we don't typically ask is what would you like? It's a bit of a play on what we talk about typically. Now, if I had to say it, I would like to see Jamie Young get a day off and let's like Ryan Scott have a bit of a go on goals, like we saw in the FFA Cup, so he can have a little bit of a go. I'd like to see Theo Harris in the left wing, as opposed to Parias. I think that'd be good. And then that gives us the option to bring Parias in for Wales, as opposed to what we did last week. Yeah. Score predictions, anyone?
I'll say a draw. It'll be 0 or 1-1.
1-1. Penalties, dodgy penalty to Sydney for a handball.
2-1. The boys are going to win. We're going to stay top of the ladder. I'm staying super positive. I'm riding the positivity train this season. That's what I'm doing. Please don't destroy me, referees. Break my dreams. Any final comments on this game, guys?
I really hope we win. I want to see a few cups this year.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a win. I'd like to see a fair, balanced refereeing game.
In Sydney, it's not going to happen. No point. Nothing you can do.
I know, but I can ask it. It's just what I'd like to happen.
Yeah, I just want to see a lead at the top of the table. I want to see a 4-point gap between us, first and second. I want to see us, with a game that we can afford to lose a game at least once. I want to see us really push forwards and show that we are the top team this year.
Yeah, that's a good thing to have. Do you guys want to move on to the tipping comp?
Yes.
Me too.
No.
Now, I have some breaking news. He can't this week because he's in Cairns, but Nick has agreed to come as a guest spot about the tipping comp at some point. I may be able to jag him for next week.
You guys are also in the group chat with Nick, and I have been flexing because I'm currently coming third. Woodster 99. You're currently getting the Chockies, buddy. Methodical Flamethrower second. Still love that. It's probably a death metal song. I'm going to research that before next week. All that passes me. I'm third. Nick, do you even tip, bro? Tied for third, sorry. Tran coming.
Wait. Just quickly, if he's tied for third, isn't he the same amount of points as you?
Firm disagree. I got him on goal difference, I think. I don't really understand how these things work, but I'm currently beating him. Suck it.
But you're on the same amount of points. You're still on the same amount of points, though, aren't you?
Yeah, but I don't know if you understand maths, Kelsey. What's a better number to have, 11 or 15?
I can't see it. It's too tiny on my phone.
Is that better?
Yeah.
No, it's still not great for me.
If you go with the AFL,
you can just tell me what the goal difference is.
But aside, I'm winning currently. So suck it, Nick. Lebby, not great, buddy. 9th. Shout out Brooke, you're doing good. The Joker baby still is Jay. Shout out Harris Mania, sorry. So yeah, make sure you get in. We've got a really good prize this year, plus the trophy, and we cannot win the prize. The trophy, different story. So yeah, it's gonna be good. We've all got to beat Nick.
Either can Andrew Tran. No, we all could beat Andrew Tran.
Let's not talk about Andrew Tran and trophies. That's all I'm saying.
I understand we need a new trophy.
Yeah, there's a reason that we do a new one every year. Now, I don't have anything for Around the Grounds or Carter. Do you guys have anything?
No, Chelsea haven't won any cups lately. Last week, so no.
No, look, my card is just for the consistency of the referees. Just be consistent. I'm not trying to bag you out. I just want it to be consistent.
They are consistent. They just hate Western United.
Consistency.
I meant on the even officiating of the rules, but sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Now, any final thoughts for this week's pod, guys?
No, just I hope we manage to bag 2 wins. Do we play again on the weekend?
Yeah, we're playing Perth on Sunday. I feel like it's too far ahead to kind of talk about what we're going to do. So,
Sydney
look,
tomorrow.
I'll just do a score. I'm hoping we beat Perth. That's all I'll say on that. But hopefully, next week we've got 2 wins in the bag. But we'll see where we go.
yeah, Scott.
Yeah, I hope we get them both. Let's take it 3 years to win the league. 3 years, not freaking 12. Screw you, City.
Well, that about wraps us up for the week. Don't forget to check us out on social media for up-to-date West United content. Share, like, subscribe, review. All West, aren't we?
All West, aren't we?
All West, aren't we?